done for making it through another week of home learning. Really impressed with all the work that you've been doing so far. Today we have finished the text that we've been looking at, so we are going to be doing a cold comprehension task. For this task, I'm going to show you a text that you've never seen before. You're going to read the text and then you're going to answer some questions about it. These comprehension questions are going to be a mixture between literal and inference questions. So make sure you pick out the keywords in the question and then you can just write down your answer on a spare piece of paper. You don't need to write the answers for this task in full sentences. You can just write down the answers as they are. Okay, so let me share my screen so that you can see the text. Make sure that you join in reading it with me, or if you would rather, you can read the text by yourself out loud at home. Okay, so this text is called Bounce That Ball, a team invasion game. Bounce That Ball, a team invasion game. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use my laser pointer and you can follow along as I'm reading. Each group of 5 or 6 children will need a hoop, a ball, 3 bibs or bands to show teams, a piece of chalk. Number 2, before you start playing, sorry, that wasn't actually a number for the text, so ignore that. Before you start to play, number 1, use the chalk to draw a circle 2 to 3 meters in diameter. Diameter just means across. Number 2, draw a cross about 3 meters from the circle. You can see the circle, then you can see the cross. Number 3, place a hoop in the middle of the circle. There's the hoop in the middle of the circle. Number 4, divide the children into 2 teams of 2 to 3 players each. So you're going to have 2 teams with 2 or 3 players on each team. The aim of the game is to score goals by bouncing the ball inside the hoop. The ball must not touch the hoop at any point. The ball can only bounce once inside each hoop. So you've got to bounce this ball inside the hoop once and it cannot touch the actual hoop. Moving on to the next part. Playing the game. Team captain from team number 1, stand on the cross and throw or bounce the ball to any other members of your team. Number 2, team 1 players. This is for team 1 players. Try to catch the ball. If you can bounce it in a hoop, do so. Otherwise, throw or bounce the ball to another member of your team. Team 2 players. This is step number 3 for team 2 players. Try to catch the ball as the other team throws or bounces it. When you have the ball, you can either bounce the ball in the hoop or throw or bounce the ball to another member of your team. Here is some important information. Players are not allowed to move with the ball, set foot inside the chalk circle surrounding the hoop, kick the ball or accidentally touch it with their feet. If any of the above occur, play is started again from the chalk cross and any goal gained from the action is discounted. Okay, so that was the text. If you want to, you can reread it again. You can pause this on this to read it again, and you can pause it on this screen if you would like to read it again. I'm now going to read out the questions to you. So like I said, what you need to do is on a spare piece of paper, just write down number 1. You're not writing out the question, you're just writing out your answer. The reason why there's a pause button on here is because after I've read out these 3 questions, you need to pause the video. What type of text, so this is question number 1. What type of text is bounce that ball? What is the purpose of the diagram? Is it to explain how to score? To show where all the people stand? To tell you something that the instructions don't tell you? Or to help you understand the instructions? Question number 3, copy out the first instruction in the text. Pause this video so that you can answer all of those questions. Now that you've answered those questions, we're going to move on to some more. Question number 4, how do you score a goal? Question number 5, what is the purpose of the chalk circle? And question number 6, Sometimes there are bullet points at the beginning of lines, sometimes there are numbers, and sometimes there are crosses. What are the bullet points used for? And before we pause the video for question number 6, let me just show you. Here are numbers at the beginning of the lines. Here are bullet points, and there are some more bullet points. Here are some numbers, and here are some crosses. The question was, what are the bullet points used for? So I'm just going to go back to that question. Pause the video to answer those questions. Lovely, moving on. Question number 7. Which sentences are commands? Use the chalk. The ball must not touch. Draw a cross. Try to catch the ball. And for an extra challenge, can you put punctuation into those sentences? Can you add the correct punctuation into those sentences? Question 8a, and here is a line from the text. Any goal gained from the action is discounted. So just to go back to the text, it says here, if any of the above occur, play started again from the chalk cross, and any goal gained from the action is discounted. Write a word that has the same meaning as discounted. 8b, explain how you could work out the meaning of the underlined word. So how could you work out the meaning of the word discounted? Pause the video to answer those questions. Right. Your last question is, here is a summary of the poster. Copy out the instructions for the children. These instructions that I'm going to read you, some of these instructions are for the teacher to do before the game commences. That means before the game begins. Some of the instructions are for the children. I would like you to copy out the instructions that are for the children. I'm going to read these instructions now. Throw and catch the ball. Mark out the pitch. Bounce the ball in the hoop to get a goal. Explain the rules. Remember, you're just going to copy out the sentences or sentence that is for the children. Fantastic. You have reached the end of the video. I haven't put the answers on it this week because I actually want to see what you are getting from this cold comprehension task. I want to actually see the answers that you're coming up with. Okay, so well done for that. Be sure to upload your work onto Cecil so that your teachers can see it. Fantastic. Well done, everybody.